So we're back for another episode of Obi Wan Kenobi, just this absolutely amazing show. There is nothing wrong with it at all. It's just perfection. And of course, I'm lying. And the first thing I want to bring up before we get into this episode is something I got wrong on episode 2, and that was to do with the archives, where I confused Reva. I thought she was talking about Leia when she says, I found a connection between Obi-Wan and Organa. So, that's something I got wrong. And it doesn't save it either. Just for the fact that I'm wrong about that, it still raises questions. It raises a lot of questions, like, so these archives have been sitting here for 10 years, and no one once thought to go, maybe we should try and find a connection here. So there is a lot of questions that comes up, but we'll get, as I said, when we get to episode 6, I'll be doing like a big overview within that video as well. So a lot of this stuff we can go back to, but let's just dive in, shall we? Just dive into another episode that's mostly boring, not a lot happening, and a lot of stuff that, as we know, isn't supposed to happen. And actually, another thing to bring up before we get into this, also, if we go back to A New Hope with Leia's transmission to Obi-Wan, she shouldn't have, in this show, she shouldn't have met Obi Wan Kenobi. She doesn't seem to know him in A New Hope. She does not seem to know him. And a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, that's because she knows him as Ben. Even though in the previous episode, one of the characters said, you're not alone, Obi-Wan, right in front of Leia. So Leia knows that his name's Obi-Wan. So this is something else that shouldn't happen. But do you want me to explain to you why Leia is in the show? She's in there because it's basically the Baby Yoda effect. That's kind of what they're going for. And also to diminish Luke Skywalker. There's a lot of reasons for it. But I think it is just the cuteness factor. They want people to go, and just forget about the absolute trash that is going on around it. But let's just dive in so we get a previously on. They're really trying to just get rid of this series at this point. We only just had the first 2 episodes released on Friday, and we've already got so we're halfway through now. We are halfway through, and they haven't done shit with it. And for me, they've just went the wrong route. This whole series shouldn't even be a thing. There is stories to tell around Obi Wan Kenobi, but this story in particular just shouldn't be told because it doesn't line up with anything. It does not line up. It just doesn't. But let's just start getting into this shite. We need a big long previously on. Because as we know, we got the reveal of Darth fucking Vader. The reveal of Darth Vader, which I'm sure his helmet's going to be constantly coming off. That's what I mean. I don't know why they didn't just do stuff with, like, set it within the prequel era. I don't know why they just didn't do, like, flashbacks and do stories within that. Because, as we know, in Hollywood, they cannot resist but take some twat's helmet off. They just can't do it. They cannot resist that urge. We've seen it with Halo. You see it with superhero films. No matter what, no, we have to see the actor's face for some reason. So I expect that. I don't think they're going to get Hayden Christensen back just to have a helmet on. So we can probably expect more of that. But yeah, this is them on the ship that from the previous episode they left on, and Obi-Wan is he's still trying to connect with Qui-Gon Jinn, and you know what I find hilarious about it's like, no, Kenobi should not have been cutting himself off from the Force. It's about 7 to 10 years. In 7 to 10 years' time, he's supposed to train Luke, but this guy's hasn't done shit. He's cut himself off. He only uses the Force when the story needs it to happen, really. But it just doesn't make sense why it's like, no, you should be doing all this stuff. That's what another reason why you're originally on Tatooine, is to be able to connect with Qui-Gon Jinn, with the Force Ghost. But no, he hasn't done any training whatsoever. Even though he's supposed to be protecting Luke. So he's trying to contact Qui-Gon Jinn, and we start getting little bits of Vader getting all suited and booted. This is the moment where everybody says, right, Star Wars is now saved. Whenever it comes to something you actually like, no, it's just meaningless shite. That is really all it is. So there he is there. If we can find that little bit again. So that's Hayden Christensen. And as I say, I expect he'll have his helmet off all the time. It'll probably just, be mid-fight and take his helmet off. But yeah, so this is, again, when they start having Vader walk off, they don't even play like duh 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 duh. No, they don't play any of that shit. No, it's some other fucking shit. I'm really not a big fan of the score in this. A lot of it just doesn't feel right. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't quite fit what's going on. But yeah, they don't go for that. All the nostalgia bait, and they don't even put the fucking they don't even put the duh duh. They don't even put that in. And let's be honest, that's because most people watching this show probably never watched the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy. That's why in the first episode we got 4 minutes of fucking shit that happened in the prequel trilogy. It's like we all know that. Any of us that have watched it, that have grew up with it, we all know that shit. I don't need 4 minutes. But yeah, Reva is basically explaining that she's gonna. Well, she killed the Grand Inquisitor. Vader's like, the Grand Inquisitor don't mean shit to me. It's like, really, the guy you put in charge. So he says to Reva, if you get me Obi-Wan, you'll become the next Grand Inquisitor. And he says, if you fail, I'll snap your fucking neck, bitch. That's pretty much what he's going for. I don't really know what... did they get James Earl Jones back for this? I don't know if they did. But it's, it certainly sounds like his voice, so it's, I can only really guess. But then again, Luke Skywalker's voice in Boba Fett, was that not like a computer, done through a computer, through like a, I don't know what you fucking call it, but something that, it's not actually Mark Hamill's voice. I think it's just a computer AI kind of thing. So I don't know if that's what they've done with Vader, but it does sound like James Earl Jones anyway. So yeah, they have that little conversation, and then Vader goes and has a little look out his tower. He's Rapunzel. And then we're back on the ship, and of course, Leia's asking 101 fucking questions. How does it feel to like, what is the Force? How does the Force work? Obi-Wan says some shit that I don't really fucking care. It's not really, it doesn't really go anywhere. But yeah, he fixes a little droid that, all the kidnappers and everybody else just forgot to take off her. They locked her up with this. She almost got away because of it, but, that just seems to be kidnappers. Very fucking idiotic. So yeah, we're now coming up on this is like the planet, the character they met on the other planet. I imagine we're just going to be hopping planet to planet like the Mandalorian. Like the Mandalorian is like a, it's just a side quest show. It's like, oh, well, you got to go over here if you want to get here. Oh, but then you get there and you got to go fucking over here. So it's, a similar thing. So they come up, because they're going here to meet some people that will help them. So I don't know why they didn't just take the ship straight back to fucking Alderaan. Why wouldn't you just go straight back there? Unless there's not really anything you can do about where these ships go. Maybe that's why, I don't know. But they're going to this planet to meet some group that will help them. They come out and they go a little stroll. So of course you've got this is like a planet that's got the Empire all over it, just all over it. So they go a little stroll. There's loads of stormtroopers about, by the way. You know, sort of if you go, you know, over to this ridge or over to that ridge, nobody seems to really spot them. But that's stormtroopers. Whenever there's stormtroopers, there's never really a threat anyway, because they're all fucking useless. So yeah, Obi-Wan sees Anakin. He sees Anakin. He's looking at Anakin's whatever. I don't know. I've just got to make sure I keep looking at my notes anyway, just in case I fucking step over something. So now we're at this. This is the thing we've seen in the trailer. This other little tower in the ocean. So this is Reva coming back in. She's on her way into talk to the other Inquisitors. And she explains that Obi-Wan's on this planet because I read the manifest. It's like, why can't you just have some sort of build up to finding out where they are? It's like, we go into the next... Oh, I already know where they are. Already know, because we need the episode to get fucking going. We need something to happen, so we have the manifest that tells us exactly where Obi-Wan is, because Obi-Wan is a dumb prick, and, you know, he's not very good at, you know, sorting out, you know, clearing up so people can't follow him. There's a lot to blame also on the character he met on the other planet. Didn't think to say, oh, by the way, there's a manifest or something that they can trace. Nobody thought to tell him that. So she just says, he's in one of the mining systems. I traced the manifest. And she's going, you need to send out some probes. So, of course, you know, the Asian guy with the Japanese hat on, it's like, I'm really not a fan of his voice now. It's just like, you know, I don't believe his voice is that bassy or that boomy. You know, it sounds like a fucking computer, like an android. It's like, can you just give him a normal voice? So she's telling him that she went and spoke to Vader, which of course they're not very happy about that. You spoke to him, you know, that kind of stuff. And he's not happy about her calling the shots. So he gets a bit angry, and then with the Force, you know, bends her over on the table and gets ready to... so that's sort of, it's like she just doesn't play a good villain. Doesn't play. It's just, you know, kind of shouting and stuff like it. She doesn't really have a presence that says, yeah, this is a well written villain or a well acted villain. There just doesn't seem to be anything. But I don't want to speak about that too much. I might get called a racist. But let's see what else we get. So yeah, they throw out a load of these probes. That's it, probes. I've got the fucking dog barking downstairs. He's gonna get a bloody flick of the ear. So they're still walking in fields. And then it's like, so they've reached the coordinates that they're supposed to meet these people that are going to help them. Because these people know that somehow. They don't even, they stay there about 20 seconds to a minute. That's kind of around about it. And they go, nah, they're not showing up. Let's fucking go. Let's go. We've stood here not but a minute. We're just going to give up and go, no, they're not coming. It's like, at least give it an hour. Or a few, you know, you'd give it a few hours. You wouldn't just go, oh, well, they haven't showed up. Let's go. It's like, I don't even know how these people on this planet know that they're coming. I don't know how they know this. Unless the guy on the other planet said that, you know, I'll contact them. Or this is where the guy... Because if you remember, the guy was robbing poor people and sending them off on these cargo ships to people that could help them. So I don't know if that's what it is. I don't know, but Obi-Wan just starts letting a child make the decisions. What are you doing? Throughout this entire, it does nothing for Obi-Wan's intelligence. Why do we constantly have to have pretty much every character just be dumb as a bag of rocks? That's just what it's like. It's like, no, don't start waving at fucking people, you idiot. What? Just tell her, no, I'm in charge. I'll make the decisions. Don't start running off, making you're 10. You are 10. I know I'm not your parent, but please don't do that. We're on a planet where the Empire are. They're looking for us. They may find us. They may kill us. So please don't just go, oh, there's a truck coming. I'm going to run down the hill and wave at it. Ah. Oh. So that's when they meet this guy. Yeah, they meet this. So I don't know what the fuck. He looks like a kind of rat, squid, fish. I don't know what he is. But he's driving a little hover truck. And they're like, "Can we get on with you?" Yeah, can we get on with you? They say who they are. Obi-Wan says, "Oh, this is Luna," or something like that. So they're running with fake names. It's like, no, you shouldn't be. Why are you getting on this guy? Why? Why are you doing this? Again, you're at the coordinates where you're supposed to be, where the people are going to help you, and you're just like, nah, we waited there long enough. We waited there for a minute. That's just long enough. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be led round. Me, Obi Wan Kenobi, an adult. I'm going to be led round by a 10-year-old. We're just going to do whatever she does. So they hop in, and of course this is to do with the Empire. So you would see that and you go, nah, maybe we'll just leave it. But it's too late, because then you're just going to give yourself away. You know, it just make a whole lot more sense if you just waited where you were. Stay there, wait. Maybe they'll show up. Maybe they're running late. Maybe there's traffic on the M40. You know, you never know. But no, a minute will do it. So they have a little conversation. We just go back a little bit. They have a conversation, and again, Leia is figuring things out. It's like, no, she's 10. And I think that a lot of the defenses that, well, she was like this in this. It's like, yeah, that's fucking in the future. You don't have the same personality when you're 10 as you do when you're 20. So she's figuring out, you know, what she says. Yeah, Leia, yeah, she knows Obi-Wan, like, knows her mother and all that. She's like, you know how the fuck do you know that? How do you know that? It's like, I don't even understand why Leia knows that she's adopted. Why does she have this information? I don't know what, it didn't come across that way in the original trilogy. She never said, "Oh, I'm adopted." Why the fuck does she know she's adopted? She shouldn't know that. That is not very intelligent when you're trying to keep these children secret. You don't go, "Oh, by the way, Leia, we know you're 10, and we know you might just spill this when you're not supposed to, but you're adopted." That's a good thing to tell the kid, isn't it? Even though she's supposed to be kept a secret. So she shouldn't even know that she's adopted. That just shouldn't even be a thing. You know, especially when you're trying to protect them. But this is all Senator Organa's fault, because he's a dumb prick and couldn't fucking come through on his job. He had to fuck over Luke just because he fucked up. It's like, that's why I keep saying, just don't have Leia in it, and your problems have gone away. Your problems have gone. But no, we have to have Leia in it. Because we need the nostalgia bait. We need the jangling of keys. We need people to go, "Oh, look at her hair and her poncho. She looks like she did in the Star Wars." Fuck off. Meaningless shite. So as you can tell, this episode is just pissing me off now. It's like, just don't have Leia in it. It solves all of your problems. All of them. And it doesn't matter. I think I have come up with the correct term, because the last episode I'd done was, what did I call it? Expensive fan fiction. And, to be fan fiction, it has to be made by fans. And it's not. It's quite clearly not. It clearly isn't. They clearly haven't watched anything. Haven't watched any of it. Or if they did, they've been sitting looking at their fucking Twitter feed. So I think the better the term I've come up with, I've coined. I may not be the first, I don't know. Maybe someone can come up with something better, but I'm going for twat fiction. That's what this show is. It's twat fiction. That's kind of the best I could. I was like, how do we keep it in line with, try and make it at least kind of rhyme. So that's what this show is. It's twat fiction, nothing more. And again, she's a psychologist in this scene as well. You've been hiding thing ever since we've met. You've been hiding something. You're 10 Leia. I don't know why you're picking up on stuff like that. So then stormtroopers show up, of course, because you couldn't wait at the fucking coordinates. You couldn't just wait. So now you're in danger again, and that's because we need the fucking story to happen. We need these things to happen, so we can't stay at the coordinates. We can't just do that. So they get on. They start asking about, who's this? What's your name? I think he calls himself Ben. Then he says, of course, like he said Leia's name was Luna. He says me and my daughter come back here because this is where my wife was, and she's passed away, and all that sort of stuff. And then idiotic fucking Kenobi then calls someone that the stormtroopers know that she's called Luna. Obi-Wan then goes Leia, and then they're like, you just said her name was Luna. So Obi-Wan is a complete fucking idiot. He's a joke. He has no intelligence. It's like, no, you're a Jedi, mate. You're a Jedi. You should not be slipping up like that. You should not be slipping up like that. And the stormtroopers, once Obi-Wan gives them a song and dance about, well, no, that was my wife's name. That was my wife. My wife's name was Leia. Sometimes I get confused. They're like, oh, all right then. Even though we know we're looking for someone that had, well, let's be honest. They clearly, Reva or Darth Vader haven't put out the message that, look for he's with a girl called Leia. They should know what Obi-Wan looks like. They must have wanted posters or something like that. Or, in their little break rooms, they must have you seen this man? It's like, come on. They should realize who it is already. But, after that slip up, they don't click on, because, of course, we need stormtroopers to be stupid. Again, just don't fucking have any of this. It solves all your problems. So they continue on. It does go on for a bit. Oh, come on, the fuck. I think it's because I've done shit out of order. But it's still the same scene. And then we come up on a little checkpoint. On a checkpoint. Again, Obi-Wan Kenobi, my good sir, you could have just stayed at the coordinates. Because now you're gonna have to go through this, and it's like, at some point, your luck is gonna run out. But no, stormtroopers are fucking dumb. So yeah, this guy's telling them, I think you might want to check these people out. So, Obi-Wan puts his hood up. As if that does fucking anything. Especially in this scene. So they're like, get off the truck. We need to ID. And these are the little, what they call, these are the little probes that were sent out by Reva. Where they scan your face to know who you are. Because we can't use humans. We can't use humanoids to know what Obi-Wan looks like. No, we have to use a fucking droid. So, you know, as you can see there, so the droid, of course, realizes, oh, this is the person we've been looking for. Stormtroopers aren't aware of any of this. They're just not aware. So then he pulls out the gun and shoots it. Meanwhile, the stormtroopers just stand there for a little bit. They stand there for a little bit. You know, they should have seen him drawing his weapon out, surely. So this goes for a little fight. You know, he's shooting them and stuff like that. And then, again, it's pointless doing stuff like this with a stormtrooper grabbing Leia with a gun to her head. Because we know she's in the original trilogy, so she can't die. She cannot be hurt. There is no stakes. So whenever you get a scene like this, it doesn't mean anything. So I just go, oh well, she doesn't die anyway. So you know, having this scene, you might as well get rid of it. There's no tension here. They do try to play off on tension. It's like there's nothing tense. We know she doesn't die. So Obi-Wan shoots him, and that's that. And then you know, see this gate here. He could have just walked round it. He could have just walked round this gate. Either side, by the way. You know, you could have went up the hill a little bit and round, or you could have came the other side and just walked round it. You don't need to destroy this little panel. Just walk round it. Just walk bloody round it. But no, then we get more stormtroopers that show up. And say, get down, you bastard, get down! They don't, by the way, they don't tell them to throw the gun away. Fucking absolute morons! Why, can we not for once have competent stormtroopers? Can we not have that? No, is that too much to ask? So, as you can see, so this woman shows up. So he's still got his gun in his fucking hand. No stormtrooper has went, could you take that gun out of your hand? Because you might just pull the trigger. Honestly, I don't know why he didn't. It's like, just pull it, you know, you killed those guys pretty easily. But no, the stormtroopers go, yeah, lay on the ground and please hold your gun. That, you know, that's what the cops do as well. When they're going, get down, you know, they say, but keep your gun in your hand. Make sure you hold that gun in your hand, because I want to risk being shot. Again, you could just clear something like that just with them saying, throw your gun away. Just throw your gun away. It's like, oh, fucking hell. And then this woman shoots them all. And it turns out that this is the person that was supposed to meet them at the coordinates. Apparently she turned up, they weren't there. It does seem like there's a lot of teleportation going on. It's like, so you went all the way over there. You went all the way over there. You came all the way back ahead of Kenobi and then knew that he'd be on this truck. No, I don't think it's really worked like that. But, you know, throughout this entire thing, it's just, well, we need this to happen so the story can happen. We need to get what we need to set up. And you won't be shocked at where we're leading to. It's not going to be a shocker. We know what Star Wars, what, you know, Lucasfilm have to do to bring people in. And that's with the old nostalgia beat. That's with the old, oh, well, this didn't actually happen, but we're going to do it anyway because we don't give a shit. So yeah, they start. Well, they realize that. So like this fucking probe, this probe we sent down, has scanned Kenobi. So they head out. They head out with you know, Darth Vader and all that. And then she's like, "You wait." She's like, "Wait here. I'm just going through here. I'll let you know when it's clear." I honestly forget what they were talking about here. I fucking forget. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. So let's just go on with it. So yeah, he takes her across into this place. You've got this robot. It's a loader. It doesn't understand anything. It does not understand like Leia's trying to speak to it and all that sort of stuff. It's basically droid rights. That's how this part comes across. Because of course this droid cannot think for itself. It can only do things. And they seem to break that pretty much instantly. So it's an old loader. And then they go in the back. Leia's going over the walls. The other woman's saying, well, we've had Jedi through here and just all that type of jazz. Those are the people we've helped. Then we get stormtroopers that show up. They just know exactly where to go. Although they could have done the old door to door. So they're like, open up. So this loader thing goes and opens it. These even the stormtroopers say these loaders don't understand because they're trying to talk to it. One of the guys is trying to talk to it. The other guy's like, yeah, you can't. It doesn't understand what you're talking about. And I just find it funny that this loader has a hammer in his fucking hand. Why does he have that? Why would he even know to do that? But yeah, it doesn't really matter because it's, he doesn't have to use it anyway. Most of these conversations are just boring as fuck. It's like, and I know Ewan McGregor's a great actor, but in this, he really is just plastic. He doesn't quite sound like he did in the prequels. I don't know what it is, but even his performance, it's just very plastic. It's like they're just doing it on first takes. It's like, yeah, first take, that'll do. You're not Anthony Hopkins. For Anthony Hopkins, he could do the shit on the first take, because he's that fucking amazing. But I think with this, we need more than one take. But that's what a lot of these scenes come across as no, that'll do. That'll do. We don't care to go any further. We don't want to give you a couple more goes. That's why everything just comes across as, it just doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't sound natural. It doesn't come across as natural. They come across like they're actors. They don't come across like these are actually people. These are actually the people that exist. So that's when they show up. They're in the right place, the right area, the right street, and that's when we get old Darth Vader start strolling down. Again, why is nobody playing dun dun dun? Why is no one playing that? I don't get that. Just play it. Fucking hell. It's like, we already know it's just in it for nostalgia bait. You might as well add on something that sounds good. And as Vader's walking down, he stops at like he senses him, and that's all that should have happened. But no, we know what we're getting. We know exactly what we're getting to. But that is what it should have been. That's what the whole setup should have been for Obi Wan and Vader meeting. But actually not meeting. It's just more of Vader stops and he senses something. But they don't meet. Because as we know, they shouldn't be meeting anyway. But that's all it should have been. But then Vader starts choking people, trying to get Kenobi to come out of hiding and to help these people. No, he gets through about, I don't know, 3 of them. He kills about 3 of them. Obi-Wan doesn't go out. Nice guy. Again, a lot of it, because I could easily say, like, well, he should be going out there to help them, but he shouldn't be, because it's like he should be on Tatooine. That's where he should be. None of this should be happening, but it is. So I think in this instance, it's like, Obi-Wan should probably be coming out to help, not watching from the sidelines. Oh, he's choking people. Oh, he just choked another one. I'm just what this is just entertainment to me. Yeah, that's what it is. I can already tell we're going to take longer on this one than we have in the previous episodes. Sometimes it's not until you actually start talking about it and going through this, you start realizing more things. Usually if I'm taking notes, I just try and take out sort of the important, make sure I note the important stuff. The stuff where I think where there's problems there. But yeah, a lot of the stuff you probably, and I imagine there's going to be more things I'm going to see because I'm going to have to rewatch the series from the first episode for my overview episode 6 fucking review. So yeah, Vader's just doing this, actually playing a villain. Whereas all the other villains in this are not very good villains. So Obi Wan eventually, after Vader's had his fun choking out people and killing them, Obi Wan says to this woman, I don't even know this woman's name and I don't fucking care. She says, "Oh, can you take Leia to the because that's where they're going. They're going to the spaceport because there's a ship waiting for them to take them off the planet." So he's like, "I'm gonna go and, I don't know, distract him or something like that. Take him away, or try and not draw Vader to Leia or something like that." So he's like, "Right, you take her because there's a tunnel that goes to the spaceport. Of course there is." So yeah, he go. Where does he go? Well, yeah, Obi-Wan is standing here, and then Vader senses him again and looks up, and then Obi-Wan's gone. So of course, so that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to lead Vader away from all these civilians and stuff like that. You're a bit late if you ask me. He's already killed 3 people. So yeah, of course, like all the people are shitting themselves. And Obi-Wan leads him down to this quarry. You know, the quarry we never heard about when they met in A New Hope. They never once said, "Oh yeah, remember we had that fight in the quarry and all that? That was good times." Never brought that up. That's because it didn't happen. Never happened. That's why we are calling it Twat Fiction. That's quite a good name for a film, actually. Twat Fiction. We're almost to the end. But there's probably going to be quite a lot to talk about here because there's a lot of buffoonery. So yeah, Vader rolls up, brings out his old lightsaber, and Obi-Wan just stares at him in horror, and then he runs away. It's like, he's here now, you might as well fight him. See if you had been training. See if you didn't cut yourself off from the Force. You wouldn't have to put yourself in this situation. You wouldn't have to run away from him. You'd be able to at least hold your own. But no, it's just this. It is quite comical. It is quite comical. Where, the lightsaber comes out. We see this shot we're seeing now, with Obi-Wan standing there. Maybe we can find his face. Can we? No, we can't find it. So yeah, obviously the camera goes up to Obi-Wan's face with horror on his face and stuff like that, and then it just stops for a while. It stops for a few seconds, and then you just see Obi-Wan running away across the screen. Oh, just run away, Obi-Wan. It's fucking hell. You're supposed to be this great Jedi. I haven't been seeing you do a lot of good Jedi stuff. Not a lot at all. So yeah, after Obi-Wan runs off, then he hears Vader, and he's like looking behind him. It's like, no, he's like looking over there. It's like, no, you just come from that way. You just come from that way. He's clearly gonna walk behind you. But why he would end up in front of you, I don't know. I didn't realize Jedis were also magicians. So I don't know why you're looking over here. It's like, no, he's behind you. He's behind you. He's right over there. Right over there. But he finally brings out the lightsaber. So then Vader rolls up again. Then we're back to Reva. And what is she going on about? No, I don't know. No, she goes into in this, the little store that Obi-Wan and Leia went into. She goes into there and figures out pretty quickly that there's this tunnel here. And then we're back to Obi, and they're having their rematch that we heard all about. The rematch that never happened. Never happened. If we have to bring up the line again from A New Hope, when Vader says to Obi-Wan, last time we met, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master. So why does Vader say that in A New Hope when at this point, he's not a learner? He's not a learner. No, he's a master. Darth Vader, at this point, Anakin is a master. So the bit of dialogue in A New Hope does now does not make sense. And that's because none of this happened. It is twat fiction. That's what it is. So, I'm not going to hear any of, well, but no, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. That's just what it was. That is what it was. It's not our fault, the things that are set. It's not our fault that Lucasfilm go, oh, what, you mean, oh, fuck it, doesn't matter, does it? Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, just move on. Don't ask questions. Just consume. That is the golden ticket. So, yeah, they're just having this bit of a shit fight. A very shit fight. It's not really... again, there's no stakes. There's no stakes. There's no tension. There's no nothing. Because we know Obi-Wan doesn't die. Vader doesn't die. So just don't have this in there. Don't have the do like I said and just Vader senses him. That's about it. That's about it. He says, "Oh, I haven't sensed this presence in years." But no, we don't want to do that. We need them to have a rematch because we don't have a story to tell. We've already got fucking over 40 minutes now. Jesus. It's going to be a long one. So, yeah, she easily finds this tunnel. And then this woman's like, fuck you, Leia. You're on your own. She's going to go back and help Kenobi. Kenobi just told you to take the fucking girl. That is the important part. Not go back for him. But you wouldn't run into these troubles if this wasn't the story told. So she's like, well, like saying to Leia, well, just keep on running to the end of the tunnel. You'll come to the spaceport. You meet the guy that we got set up with a spaceship. So yeah, she's like, yeah, Leia, the 10-year-old, you're on your own. You're on your own. I hope you know how to throw a punch. So now this, but of course we need this woman to leave because of certain reasons. Obi-Wan's pretty much shit in this fight. If you continue to train, it would help you out a bit. But you're not going to kill Vader anyway. You already know you're not. Really, this is just, Obi-Wan should just wake up in his bed. Oh, it was just all a dream. I never left my responsibility being Luke Skywalker. I never fought Vader, someone I don't meet for ages. None of this stuff happens. Maybe they should have just done that. What a waste it is. We're already halfway through this season. Halfway through. Oh. So yeah, Reva, and that because we already know what they're doing with Reva. We know she's going to turn out to be the sympathetic villain. So she's looking at, as you can see, the little symbol there is the, what is it? The Jedi Temple signal, sort of sigil, is it? I kind of forget now. So she's like looking at that. It's like so obvious. It's so obvious. You're not doing anything unexpected. And I imagine Lucasfilm will be thinking, we're subverting expectations. No, I fully expect this to happen. I fully expect that, no, even though I cut off people's hands and shit, no, I'm not really a bad guy. So we already know that's coming, and that pretty much proves it. It's like you're not doing anything unexpected. It's like so obvious. So we're running through the tunnel. Well, yeah, she sees the tunnel. Obi-Wan manages to jump over here a little bit. Vader pulls down some, I'm guessing, petrol, and lights it on fire with his lightsaber. And then he starts dragging Obi-Wan Kenobi with the Force into the flames, saying, you done this to me, you prick. I'm gonna get you back. I'm gonna get you back with the flames. We're gonna pull you in the fire. So now Obi-Wan's gonna be, burnt to a crisp. Vader's just saying some shit to him. I don't know. So they're just watching him burn, and this woman who's been running through a tunnel and has got to be very far away is now teleported to exactly where Obi-Wan Kenobi is. Even if she got back to her house, it's like you've easily figured out that, oh, he's over in the quarry. He's over in the quarry. Or she's seen the fires from the house and thought, teleportation, please. One way. So, but of course we need her here. It's like, fucking hell. But I don't remember Obi-Wan in A New Hope having all these burns over him. But I don't think it gets his face anyway. So we can let him away with that. We can let him away with that little bit. The loader comes and it's like, yeah, there you can see him there. So it's, yeah, none of his face is his arm and his body and his legs. Leia's running through this tunnel. And then Reva's there. Now she's gained the powers of teleportation. She's just there, and that's the end of the episode. That's the end of the episode. Based on Star Wars by George Lucas. Not really, is it? It is not really, but that's the episode. So that's all the episode was about. How do we get Obi-Wan and Vader to fight? I'll tell you how. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't have Leia in it. Just have Obi-Wan down in the desert, thinking back on the his Jedi days, his Jedi ways with Anakin Skywalker. Let's see more of their relationship that the prequel trilogy did not establish. Let's do something like that. We've got Hayden Christensen, but what we're going to do is bring him back and put him in a mask. That's a good idea. But yeah, it's as I say, it's like obvious they don't care. It's like Obi-Wan and Vader do not meet in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. It's not something that happens. It just isn't. It doesn't happen. The same way we know Leia and Obi-Wan do not meet. They do not meet to A New Hope. And not to mention, you do realise, like, at what point in time we are in this show. In about, I believe it's like 7 to 10 years, Obi-Wan is all of a sudden meant to turn into this old man. It's like, yeah, Ewan McGregor's about in his 50s, I think. In his 50s. So in about 7 to 10 years, he should be looking like Alec Guinness, an old man. So he's just meant to drastically age out of nowhere. What else have we really got to talk about other than, again, it seems to be, whenever you get this trash coming out, it's always dumb characters. The same with Doctor Strange 2. Everyone's dumb. Everyone is a complete idiot. He's letting a 10-year-old dictate what they're doing. It's like, no, you're the adult here. Can you tell her, don't wave at trucks, please? It might be stormtroopers. But no, we're just gonna let the little girls run about and do what they want. Do what they want, put us in the shit. And as I pointed out, there seems to be a lot of teleportation going on in this episode. Just characters, oh right, now I'm here. What else are we? What else can we? Yeah, it's like even with the coordinate stuff, it's like you could at least have them wait at the coordinates for a couple of hours. Come on, a couple of hours. You only have to go, put up on this. It doesn't really matter, does it? So you might as well put up on the screen 2 hours later. You use the clip from SpongeBob SquarePants, because that's what this show might as well be. Except SpongeBob SquarePants is probably a lot smarter than this. Probably tells its stories a lot more better. A lot better than this. And Vader in it is, I haven't really got many criticisms of Vader. Other than he shouldn't be fighting Obi-Wan. That's about it. As I pointed, some of the score work in this, it's like the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Vader. It just didn't kind of fit right. And when you have Darth Vader walking, just play his bloody theme music. Just play his theme music. You're already doing nostalgia bait. You're already jangling keys. You might as well add on top of it and make it at least look better and sound better. But it seems to be that a lot of these leaks about this show are coming true. It seems to be going that way. I'm still waiting on the actual bait and switch. I'm surprised we haven't got it yet. But I still fully expect it. In some way they're gonna diminish Obi-Wan. They've already done that. They've made him a complete idiot. They've made him someone who's supposed to be training Luke Skywalker at some point in time, but he's cut himself off from the Force. But yet he's trying to connect with Qui-Gon Jinn as a Force ghost. Yet he's cut himself off from the Force. No, Obi-Wan should be training. He should be meditating, doing what Jedis do. He should be doing all the same sort of things, because it's not going to be very long until he has to train Luke Skywalker. He has to train the Chosen One. But it's like I said, this show is also about bringing down Luke Skywalker, and in effect bringing Leia up, even though you don't need to. Leia was already a good character. She was already a good character. She didn't need to be, she didn't need to one-up Luke Skywalker. But that's what they need to do. We get the odd line in the second episode. Was it? No, the first episode, I believe. Where you have Senator Organa say she's just as a. They're doing little things like that. They are doing little things like that. But this show, it doesn't work. Does not work. And the one thing that I did point out. What really bugs me is like why Leia knows she's adopted. I might be getting that wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the original trilogy, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't know she's adopted. It doesn't seem like why would they tell her that? I don't know if it is. I might have to go and check after this, but if I'm wrong, as I've done in this episode, I'll clear it up at the very start. I'll try and present myself as honest. So if I mess up, I'll make sure I bring it up. But I'll let you go anyway, because we're like almost at 54 minutes. And it's as I predicted. I did predict that going through like it's just going to get worse and worse. It's just going to get worse and worse. I said I would end up going over 50 minutes. There just ends up so much to talk about, but I'll let you go. We got, I don't know if episode 4 going to end up being on fucking Friday. I don't know. But no, I think it's next Wednesday. So we're done for a week. We are done for a week. So we're halfway through. Hasn't done anything good yet. Hasn't done anything right. It really hasn't. But I will see you on the next one.